It's my pleasure to introduce our next guest speaker, Patty Hendrickson. And she's a full-time professional speaker, and she comes to us from the La Crosse area, so not too far from us. We know several people that have actually moved in that direction from this organization. So since 1987, she has shared her enthusiastic message with more than 1 million people. That's pretty amazing when you think of it, that she's worked with 1 million people. She has a master's degree in business administration and is the past president of the National Speakers Association, the Wisconsin chapter. She's also the author of many leadership resources, including an inspirational book now in its 5th printing titled Who I Am Depends on Me. So you can see our connection to our theme today of integrity. Patty's earned the prestigious designation of Certified Speaking Professional, and there are only 700 certified people in that area in the world. So those are kind of her stuffy credentials, and most importantly, she's like us. She's a person who loves to have fun, loves to spend time with her 12-year-old son and her 6-year-old daughter. So let's give a big, warm CBTC welcome to Patty Hendrickson.
But I have a really good audience. So based upon that gratuitous clapping, I won't be so good. I'm not going to do tons of speaking today. We're going to have a conversation, and we're going to play a lot together. But we need to get our energy here instead of... So let's just rewind. And Michelle, if you just say, please welcome Patty. And when you hear her say that, I'd like you to just... Oh, yeah, high five your neighbor, but make the energy in this room and the loudness much higher. All right? Ready?
Let's give a big CBTC welcome to Patty Hendrickson. Oh, quick leadership moment. Go back 30 seconds. How you're sitting in your chair. Oh, yay. And now, are you a little more attentive, a little more energized, a little more, yeah, I woke myself up? Yes? Truly, whenever we are faced with anything, whether it's at family, at work, in the car, wherever, we're in charge of that reaction we make every single second of the day. Before we even start, I need you to do a little challenge. I want you just to quickly rub your hands together and just listen to the sound. Okay, stop. Now we're going to do it one more time. But this time, the degree with which you rub your hands together will determine how successful you are. Go. All right, stop. Was there a difference between the first time and the second time? Yes. Started a little fire there. And after a while, you felt a little silly, like, oh, and you started laughing, right? Energy, exertion, But what was the difference between the first time and the second time? Thought. My prompt, effort, all right answers, just shout them out. Say it louder. A goal, a great word, a goal, exactly. All of these correct. The first time, we'll just do what Speaker Lady said, cool. All right. Yeah, we'll do it, we'll smile, we're nice. We live in Wisconsin, we're just nice people. I'm wanting. But the second time, the degree with which you rub your hands together will determine how successful you are in life. Go. Yeah. Right? Whatever we talk about today, I got about 7 different things I want to touch on with you. Intellectually, you'll hear it and you will think, oh, of course, sure, yeah. That's the easy part, is to take it to that next level and rub our hands together stronger, quicker, firmer. It's the operation. It's this morning. Raise your hand if you were impacted by the closure on the highway this morning up at Chippewa. Yeah, raise your hand. I was too. I came down that way this morning. In that moment of, oh, dang it, right? Like, I thought I was going to be early.
In that instant, operationally, do I focus on, oh crap? Or do I think, I get to see more of LeClaire. It's the same scenario. Operationally, I choose in that moment which it is. Before I dig into content with you this morning, I just have to say, I am so giddy to be here. Absolutely. I live in La Crosse, Wisconsin, yet I rarely work in the state of Wisconsin. I'm a speaker. I get on airplanes and I go places. Exciting places like McPherson, Kansas. Seriously. But I always go to the airport, I get on an airplane, and then I go, and I live in La Crosse, so that means I go on 2 airplanes, because you first go to Minneapolis and you go somewhere else, right? So yesterday, I worked in my office, and at about 3:30, I thought, I need to get in my car, and I drove up here. I stopped by here so I could check out the room. This is just a fun room. And then I went up to the hotel, worked, went to bed, woke up, and drove in my car, not a rental car, here. I'll do the same thing tomorrow, and when I'm done, I'll be home to go to the football game in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Yeah! So, it doesn't seem like much to you, but this morning, I'm filled with gratitude that I get to be with people like you. And the further awesomeness of that is, I know you. I watch WEAU. And I know Judy Clark. I know her because she sits in my living room and talks to me. Don't you all know her? Yeah? Some of you don't listen to the news, like, who the heck is Judy Clark? So, I'm thankful I'm here. So, yay, it's awesome. So good. We've got 90 minutes together to talk about integrity. Are you ready? Well, that's great. No. I want to share with you my philosophy a little bit about leadership. In my education, my first degree is in finance. I love numbers, but when you go and work in them, it's not as fun because most of it is people, and I need the people. So then I have a master's, and my whole focus is how organizations and teams work together, the systems approach. So when I'm listening to Margot talk about the care team, you are singing my song. The whole piece of attention and belonging and wanting to be a part and valuing people, we're going to talk so much about that today. But in my education, I have read more books than you would ever want to know, and I don't need to, hello. Are you nervous? No. Okay. Are you? I did it all the time! Sorry. I do! But when you're barely 5'2" and there's no stage and you're little, you gotta hop up. Trust me. But you know what? This is kind of what I do. Are you okay? We are Wisconsin. We can order you a cocktail. Just kidding. Some of you clap. That's sad. See, I do know you. Oh my. Mind you, if you haven't noticed, squirrel is a real challenge for me. Where was I before falling out the chair? Oh, education. If you get past all of the books and you get to the core essence, this is what I think when we talk about integrity, it's the leadership of ourselves. And I believe this to be the core essence, is all of us are born with this potential, what we could be. And our job on this planet Earth is to fulfill that potential. And it's every day trying a few new things, pushing, filling, and sometimes we'll mess up, we gotta come back where it's safe, okay, get regrounded again, and they keep trying. So if I have lived a full life, the day I die, I will have fulfilled my potential. I will have grown into all I could be. And I don't care what your job title is, where you are on your leadership journey, because we all are leaders in this room. People see us, they watch what we do, we impact other people. And it is our ultimate responsibility to see the value that we bring to planet Earth. And if you don't You cheat the world out of you're wonderful. And that's like the greatest tragedy there could ever be. So, you're hanging out with Colorado and California. That's a combination. And these are new people you're sitting with. I have 3 goals for the day. Our time together. Number 1, I want you to feel the magic of the people in this room. And it is so much fun to listen when you had your speakers before sharing. You can tell there's so many great relationships in this room. That's awesome. But I want us to feel the magic of one another. I am one person in this room. None of us are as smart as all of us. Feel the magic? Number 2, I hope that you have one aha. One thing you hear today, at least one thing today, will stick to you. You think, oh, that was good. Oh, yeah. Oh, I could use that. I could use that with my team. Yeah. I could use that with my kids. Oh, yeah. Just one little nugget. And the 3rd goal, have fun. Plato said it best. I can learn more from a man in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. So, let's start the process. You are with some unique people. Some you may know, some you do not know. I'd like you to get acquainted with this team of people that you will be in a competitive event with later. Oh, see, we are in Wisconsin, yeah. All right. I'd like you to introduce yourself in this fashion. I'd like you to share your name, where you live now, your job title, what you do, and 4th, your favorite movie. So your name, where you live, your job title, and your favorite movie, or one of your favorite movies. All right. You know your teams. We had a merger occur because there were 2 teams of 4, so they merged together. But the funny team moment is, I asked the first team over here, I said, well, you have 4 and they have 4, would you like to merge? And they said, well, they could merge with us. And I walked up to this table and I said, well, you have 4 individuals and they have 4 individuals. Would you like to merge? And she said, well, they could merge with us. Isn't that funny how we just think, oh, well, yeah, welcome. But to take the step and move yourself is sometimes a little riskier. For sure, for sure. Today's program is called Own It, Grow It, Be It. Okay, it's bringing your best leadership. The whole focus on the integrity issue. What we do when no one else is watching. The essence of who we are. When Bruce spoke this morning, he talked about that the rules change, but those core abilities don't. The end of 2016, there was an extensive research project based upon the 9 skills of leaders. And over 2,000 individuals were given deep interviews to pick out what it was that was the most important skill for their leaders. Hands down, in all groups, of the 9 abilities, integrity was the number 1. Because no matter what else is going on, if we trust the people, if we can count on them, we feel safer and we feel more confident in what we're a part of. True? So today we talk about own it, grow it, be it. I found that quote that I just adore. But it says, make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement. So we talk about integrity, it's the small things inside that we feel that nudge us and fanning that to help that grow. On your tables, there are a little yellow sheet that says 2.8 million. Whoever is nearest to that should grab that. And they need to keep that because they are your first team leader. Yay! My merge team cheered. Awesome. That's funny. This is a team event, and the team leader, your job is to facilitate this conversation, okay? To come up with an answer, serious or silly, your choice, of what 2.8 million could represent. So teams, put your thinking caps on. 2.8 million. What do you think that number is? All right. By the way, if any of you lead any organizations, any large groups always, bring something to blow. People laugh, but they shut up instead of you standing there saying, okay. Just a pet peeve. Okay, let's share some answers of what 2.8 million could be. Don't everybody raise your hand. Woo-hoo, yes.
People who leave their job because they don't believe they're working for a company or an individual who has an integrity.
Ooh, 2.8 million people leave their jobs because they don't believe the people they're working for, the company has integrity. That's a good guess. Ooh, not the one I'm looking for, but that's a really good guess. I like it.
Okay, we're saying like Trump. We have to wait for him.
Okay.
You stood up, so I think.
You weren't like
Oh.
Trump came. Pounds of brats. Gallons of beer over the 4th of July in Wisconsin.
Just the fourth?
Decrease in the Boy Scout population over the last 10 years. Remember single poverty?
Yeah.
So,
Excellent, excellent. I like those guesses. Those are good. Those are good. And you certainly went in all aspects. Yeah, way to go, way to go. More options, more options. Who's got a guess? Who will like to stand by and you will share with me? What do you all have? You're laughing. Bless your heart.
Sure. So we started with 2.8 million cows, and then Margot said maybe udders.
In Wisconsin. 2.8 million cows or udders in Wisconsin. Excellent guess. Excellent guess. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Yeah.
Number of lies somebody tells in their lifetime.
Ooh. The number of lies someone tells in their lifetime. That's a big number. That's cool.
That's such a good
Yes, ma'am. Do you feel they're all passing judgment on you right about now? Oh, stay away from that guy.
We get a little more serious. We've got 2.8 million in the workforce.
Oh, 2.8 million in the workforce. Very serious, yeah. All good guesses. Anybody else? Going once, going twice, gone. Good guesses. But the 2.8 million number for me today represents the number of emails that are sent every second of every day. So, it's a big number. Every second, that many. And that number every year continues to grow. Yes, sir. That is North America. Yeah. Doesn't that make it bigger? And that number goes up 50% every year. Okay, so, and even if you don't regularly log in the morning to email, you are tethered to that device that always is giving you information and emails. So we all have that impacting our lives. So if that number keeps increasing by 15% every year, let's see what that looks like. Let's say it's 2017. So it's 2007 right here, okay? And if your inbox in the morning had 100 emails in 2007, at that acceleration of 50%, by the year 2017, this year, that same inbox now has over 300. That's a big jump. Now, has your time gotten more bigger? Have you gotten more time to answer all those emails? Oh, yeah. So, but they just keep coming, right? Yeah. Raise your hand if you've ever felt almost panic just by the volume that you have to give attention to. Raise them high. Yeah, you're not alone. Look around. And this is an inactive screen that sits on your desk that is flashing at you for attention. It is a distraction, a great tool for productivity when it's used well, but it is a time sucker and a manifestation of great guilt for many of us, right? I love that new commercial. That woman's in bed, sick, and her boss is sitting on the inside. And Judy, I need you to answer that email before you wake up this morning. Doesn't it feel like that? Or I'll get to that right away in the morning, and then at 10 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I forgot. Guilt. Do you know there are more texts sent every day than there are human beings on the planet? And that trajectory is growing also. And just because the number of emails are in your inbox are growing, do you feel like you're really learning much from those? Reality check. For today in our conversation, I don't necessarily think we need more information. Instead, I think we need more clarity. What are the things? What are the things that will be sustainable in practice for you? What are the things that make you a better helper, a better human, a better servant leader to other people? The next item on your handout, first was the 2.8 million, which was the number of emails sent every single second. The next thing says find. And by the way, your handout is, I know it's huge, so many pages. It's a little half sheet. I got real tired about 15 years ago of coming home from conferences and getting what I call dusty handouts. Because I put them in a pile and I have great intentions of looking at them again. The only time I look at them is when I pick them up to dust them or go through and see which ones I want to throw away. But so this is your handout, and I hope that when you leave today, you fold it up, tuck it in your pocket, put it in your purse, put it somewhere, and I hope you find it again. Maybe next week. And oh yeah, and it's little. It's because I think when something is a little out of the ordinary, we often give it more attention. So that next item says find. It says find what sets you up for success or what puts you in a good place. When we're talking about making significant choices, getting clarity and vision where we want to be, every one of us in this room, we know that there is something, when we do it, it makes us feel better. It makes us feel grounded. It fortifies what we're about. And for some of you in the room, that might be relaxing, resting, reading, yoga, that time by yourself to just decompress of, there is no sound, this is good. And for some of you, that is the magic that puts you in the place for brilliance. Others in your room, you need to go somewhere where people are. Yeah, whether that's a church, that's the, Nick's down at the corner bar, whether that is hanging out after work with folks, just chilling, being with other people, that fellowship, that connectivity. For some of you, finding things that just inspire you. Anybody in here get addicted to TED Talks? Like you get on there and you just can't get off? Thank you. That was in mind. So would you please look at those two items? What sets you up for success and what puts you in a good place? And just at your teams, I'd like you to share, what is it about you? What do you need to do to put yourself in a good place? You don't need to elaborate huge, just share. A sentence or two. Or what is the thing? So here's the vast majority were able to share what was the thing that puts you in the best place, what fortifies, what grounds you. But here's the hard question. Do you do that every day? Some of you are laughing. And if you don't, that's the place to start. Of what is the thing that you need to help you get you in the best place? I asked several of your staff to respond to me with some questions, and one of the questions I asked was, if you were the speaker, what is the one thing you would share with your colleagues? And one of the responses said, you are the reason students come here. And if we don't take care of ourselves, no one else will. So, and that awesome smart person is in this room, so aren't we lucky? Yay. My little thing that grounds me is with a little woo-hoo. I need to smile and jump in the day, physically jump. I know it sounds silly, and if I don't do that, or before I started speaking, I go in the bathroom and I brush and I flush. It's just my little habit. And when I'm done before I walk out, I'm like, just something I do. And if I don't do that, I don't do as good a job. That's what I need to do for me. And I share that because no matter how wacky the thing you need in your life, or how serious or somber, whatever it is, somebody was talking, they want to eat pillows so they could just go to sleep. Or was it eat pills? I don't know. Just kidding. I thought it was pillows. But whatever the thing is, you need to do it for you. Because you are the instrument that you bring to the world, and you need to take good care of it. Woo. Would you please stand up very straight? Move your shoulders, loosen up a little bit. Oh, we are going to, yeah, you're getting ahead of me. How'd you know? Awesome. By the way, I love what you shared earlier. You said, I'm the registrar, but when I show up in the labs and they're registering, they think, why are you here? And her face just got so glowing. She goes, because that just makes my day. I see the students that are there, and it's so good. You radiated the whole process. High five. Woo-hoo is right. It's good to cheer for your colleagues. So I would like you to please put your hands straight out in front of you like this. And leave them up, okay? Leave them up. Okay, I'm going to say power clap, 1, 2, 3. And one time only you put your hands together, okay? We're going to do this several times. Power clap, 1. Overachievers, you got to wait for the 1, 2, 3. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. People sense what we're about by what we do and say. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes we need to be the leader, the one that really stands out. Very loud. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. Even louder. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. Maybe we've been around a long time and there's some new talent. We gotta chill out, let them take the lead. It's very quiet. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. And more quiet. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. But this is all about us. Power clap, actually, no, power clap, 1, 2, 3. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. And by the way, if your arms hurt, work out. Some of you are going, oh. We gotta take care of ourselves. Power clap, 1, 2, 3. Shake out your hands. When we're talking about integrity, it is building that community where people can come together, where it is safe to be who you are without feeling threatened. And it's not all about us. That's all not about me, it's about us. So let's take this to the next level of reaching out. Would you please do this? Yeah, you're getting now. This is the power team. Trust clap. 1, 2, 3. Power team 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 trust clap. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Shake out your hand. Now the first time I asked you to do that, you're quite pitiful at it. Okay. And then the second time, when you really get it, then you like start laughing like, oh, that was good. By the fourth time, check us out. You, like all things, the more you practice something, the better you get. But just because we've done something once or twice doesn't make us a master at it. Power Team Trust Clap. 1, 2, 3. Just because you've done something once or twice does not make you a master at it. Power Team Trust Clap. 1, 2, 3. And we are so dependent upon the person beside us, aren't we? If somebody beside you is really hitting you like, yes, firm, well then you have to be a little firmer, right? I mean, yeah. And if you're next to somebody who's a little coordination challenged, which there are some, you have to be aware, right? Just like in our teams, we're working with other people. Everybody has a space and a place. And maybe just because I have a hard time finding your hand, you don't laugh at me, you don't make fun of me, but you put your hand there and I will find it, and I will not hit you. Hope not. Right? Power Team Trust Clap. 1, 2, 3. I love what Bruce said earlier. What Bruce said earlier about that we all may look different, but at the heart of what we want, what we desire, we're all the same. And there's so many similarities. And I brought along a list that I would like you to respond to. If I say something that applies to you, just shout out really loud, that's me. You're breathing. That's me. Oh, you're all so smart. You woke up this morning. That's me. You play a musical instrument. That's me. You had a good night's sleep. That's me. You were born in Wisconsin. That's me. You are an aunt or uncle. That's me. You like to sing. That's me. Other people like to hear you sing. So the music department is coming what year? You're an only child in your family. Wow. You're an only child. I'm one. Oh, okay, 2? Yeah. They don't have to talk. Oh, 3. They don't have to talk loud because there was just one of them in the house. You're the oldest child. That's me. They got louder. You were born outside of Wisconsin. That's me. You cheer for the Vikings.
That's me.
What was this about? There's space for all of us at the table? You cheer for the Packers. That's me. You cheer for another team. That's me. There's more than green and purple. You cheer when the season's over. That's me. We're talking a lot. You love scary movies. That's me. You have children who left home. That's me. You have children who came back. That's me. That was the same amount of voices. Scary. You gotta have another plan, man. You laughed this morning. That's me. You are part of the CBTC community. That's me. You like your team you're sitting with. That's me. Power Team Trust Clap. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
You almost have to look to see one.
So we can talk about that we bring our best selves and take care of ourselves and show up ready for it. We're in a place that is good for us. We reach out to other people, we find similarities. It's a place for us to shine, then we merge with another team. Yeah. And those are all parts. But the other piece is to take a snapshot of what our organizations look like. Okay? On your tables, there are playing cards. Some of you pick them up and we're looking at them as if we're going to play poker. No. Everybody needs a playing card. Just grab one. And if you do not have one, you have nice candles. Do you have any extras? Can you pass them to me? That would be fabulous. You have an extra. Yeah. Anybody else have extras?
One here.
Awesome. Perfect. I'm out of fingers. Awesome. You do one? Well, you get 5. Lucky you. Now, I can share an awesome statistic with you, but I'd rather you see the statistic, okay? This is about engagement, and it's based upon work with the Gallup organization, who I believe in their work. They are not politicized. They have worked so hard to stay true and clean in what they do, and they've been doing this work for over 40 years. And it has shifted just in the past years, the past 6.5 years now. It has gotten a little better as far as engagement in the workplace, which is exciting. That means people feel more comfortable, they're more willing to engage, a positive thing. But Gallup has found that there are 3 distinct groups in all organizations. And we can look at our levels of recruiting and retaining based upon these 3 groups and how we can better solidify our rate of retention by looking at these 3 groups. So, on your playing card, you have a suit. You either have a heart, a diamond, or a spade, the upside down black shovel, okay? So would you please, if you have on your card a heart, I'd like you to stand up. Wow, awesome. Now if you stand up, you have a heart on there. And the heart represents the engaged people. So you got the good card. Woo. This is what card you have is no reflection upon you. It's just the randomness of life. Those of you standing, you represent 33% of the room. 1/3 of our organizations have folks who are engaged. These folks show up. They do their work and they do more. They're so good that you watch what he's doing. You guys need to meet because you would really work well together. Or, oh, I got an idea for you. Let me connect you with her, okay? This is what these people do. They're the crochet, if you will, the folks that sit there and weave the whole processes together in our organizations. These are our rock stars. 33%. And on the back of your handout, there's lines that you can fill in if you want. Engage, 33%. Have a seat. If you happen to have a spade, please stand up. Wow, a lot of people. The vast majority of you are standing up. 51% of you are standing up. And you represent the disengaged worker. Be happy with what you got. These folks standing, I picked the spade because it is a little shovel. These folks do work, but they do no more. If the day starts at 9 and ends at 5, they show up at 9. But when it gets about 4:55, they're starting to finish up their stuff because they're leaving at 5. Their day's 9 to 5. They tick all the boxes, they get the job done, but they do no more. And this is the majority of our organizations. Have a seat. Now those of you who are left are diamonds. Would you please stand up? Again, this is no reflection on anyone standing up. You just happen to randomly draw this card. But mind you, the diamond has some pointy edges, right? 16% of our workers are in this category. You are the actively disengaged. You show up, but you show up just to piss us off. You find such joy in causing havoc in the organization. It is a piece of a code of honor when something has messed up and you were a part of that process. Okay, so please have a seat. You're the actively disengaged. 16%. And the good news is, though, that number has changed. It has gone down, okay? In the past 10 years, it has gone down, a couple notches. Yes. Now, they've studied all those groups, found out similarities, what's happened along the way. And the group of rock star, in the group of the engaged, are 33% the rock stars of our organizations, the ones who get it, crochet and weave the fabric together. The number one thing they have in common is they have a coworker or a supervisor who they trust and they feel they've got their back. That's what makes a difference. When Margot was talking about the care team, when you're reaching out to someone to make certain they feel a part, having that friend group, that attachment, that is a thing that increases retention odds above all else. I need to feel I'm connected. So we talk about integrity. When we show up, we do the greatest service to our organization when we look for those that are super engaged, that are doing their part and more, and we bring value to that. And we also find ways for the other groups to become involved. That when I show up, I'm a new hire, I need to find a rock star. I need to find that 33%, someone who I can connect with because you are so good at what you do. And when I watch you and I marvel at you, wow. And it's just who you are. You tell me what you say, oh, you coach me through the process, like, oh yeah, you can do that. Oh, that's a great idea. Hey, have you met, oh, you guys would get along so well. You become my go-to. And the more we have that connection, the stronger it builds, the more connected or stuck I am to CBTC. I'm here because I love you. You are so good. I even tell my family about you. This is the part you agree and say, I am. But does that make sense? And we can't always set up a mentor program or something that is forced. It needs to be organic. And if you can clearly identify yourself in that group of engaged workers, the greatest gift you can give is you can reach out to somebody else. Coach them. And let's be bold. If you're in any one of those groups, the way you make the organization better is you reach out. Power Team Trust Club. 1, 2, 3. Because you see, everybody needs to be there to do their part, to feel connected. Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. All right. We are going to do something very large. Okay. I want to share one picture with you, though. To give a visual of what engaged looks like is very challenging. So I found this picture, and I think it is the best example. Yay! I'm like you! That's what we mean. That it's a place you feel comfortable and excited and thrilled to be with somebody. For sure, for sure. All right. Are you ready for the competition?
Yeah.
Hello, we're having a session. Power Team Trust Club. 1, 2, 3. It's challenging. I'm going to put you into some groups, larger groups, okay? So I want to ask if these 1, 2, 3, if you 3 folks would be a team, okay? Got it? See them, love them, want them, awesome. And if you 3 teams would be a group, got it? Love them, want them. Okay, awesome. And if you 3 groups would be a team, okay? Yeah, all right. If you 2 groups would be a team, just the 2 of you, got a chunk up there, that's awesome. And if, would you 3 right in the back? Okay, you got it? And you 3, how's that sound? Okay? Now what you need to do is you need to find space in the room. A table could be in the middle of you, but you can go to the corners, go to the sides, go in the middles, and just circle up or amoeba up as best you can. with these. Time. And to round two. And to round two. The number will move the whistle, and the highest you got. Your lowest number ever, your highest number ever, divided by 2. Okay, so share that product with the sum with your team. Okay? And also share with them your highest number and your lowest.
Yeah, you add up all the highs and lows.
All right. So, why do we grab beach balls and bob it around? Well, I gave you a task, and you got busy at it. And then you started having fun. Yeah, we're getting it. Yeah. And some of you, even after I blew the whistle, you had a couple more bops. We just have to do it. Yeah. You got busy. Well, let's say I happen to be your supervisor, okay? And in this moment of time, I walked in and I saw in a moment your work, okay? And let's just say based upon the end of round 1, when we blew the whistle, the number you were at in that moment, I walked in. So team, the end of round 1 when we blew the whistle, what was your stellar performance? 17. Wow. Team, at the end of round 1, when I catch you in that moment, what are you at?
1.
Yes! 1. Team, at the end of round 1, when I catch you, what are you at?
6.
6. So 17. 1. 6. Team. 7. Doesn't that sound a lot bigger than 6? Team, way in the corner at the end of round 1. 17. Oh, 17. Oh. Isn't that funny? Gotta call them out. Number 1, team up here at the end of round 1.
15.
15? Oh. So, in that moment of time when I see you perform at your job, at your task, these 2 teams, you are the best teams in the room. You have 17. Awesome. Amazing. Phenomenal. You have huge numbers, right? Yeah, you're like, yeah. Now let's try a little different. What is your average, team? 55. Wow. But when I caught you in that moment, you were at 17. Oh. So you usually do a whole lot better, don't you? You guys, what is your average? I know what it is. You round up. 27.5. 28. All right, we'll round up.
36.
36. What were we at again? 50? 55. You had issues. Challenges. What was the number? 16.5. 17.
We didn't lose.
And team back here, what was yours?
78.5.
78.5. Round up. 79 was the average of the low and the high. And team, what was your average? 43. Awesome. You have total bragging rights. Total bragging rights. Even though he just vehemently denies that you are the winner. Vehemently denies. So what happens when we truly are bringing our best, and someday, just someday, it's not clicking, and that's the day that somebody valuable in your workplace that is in charge of decisions that are made sees you in that moment? Ever had one of those moments? Yeah. Oh, no. And usually you are at 55. Yes. But today, in that moment at the start, you're at 17. Killer, right? You wish they would see you in that moment. Okay, that's what it's like for us to feel that way. What about when we see somebody else in their moment when they're at 1 or 17 or 7? And that's not their usual, but that's just where they are. Is that the impression we have of them and we keep? Or do we leave room for edits? Of my first impression with you, you met me and you just are not impressed. You were like, oh my gosh, I don't know who hired this woman. Get her out of here, oh my gosh. Because you called me in a moment when it was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. You have that impression. And all of us in the room, when we operate from a level of integrity, we have to know that the other person is truly trying to be good and do well. Our expectations of somebody else needs to be high also. At home, at work, and only you answer if it is. Power Team Trust Clap. 1, 2, 3. So say goodbye to your team and come back to your table. Oh, and please appreciate your record keepers. Yay! They did math without a phone. All right. It's not too near. Those are not. Oh, back with your family team. Power Team Trust Clap. 1, team. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. So what do you learn from the beach ball? You learn from the beach ball that my impressions of things are in a moment in time, but I expect and anticipate to continue to be impressed by the good things I find. Bruce, in his conversation, was talking about right now the rules are changing, there's a lot of uncertainty. That grounded sense of being where you bring your best and expecting the best puts you in a good place, for sure. For sure. I brought along a black bag over there, and on the floor, my black bag has about 8 hours of stuff in it. And obviously we don't get into all that, 8 hours of stuff. But I want to share with you that you showed up this morning, and you walked in the room, and you sat by some folks that you knew right away. You're in this place that you call home a lot of the day, right? You come to CVTC and you spend a lot of your life with this community of people. And you had experience, and you laughed, and you probably met somebody who you didn't know very well today, because I mixed you up. You had a great attitude. And you're smiling at these people, so you do like them. Yeah. This isn't inserts. It's a respite. It's one moment in time away from everything. It's easy in this room, isn't it? You know, we listen, we smile. You have a great breakfast too. 2 thumbs up to whoever orders that breakfast. Thank you. It's simple. What's hard is when we go back to the normal, we get back into busy, where those 2.8 million emails start flying at us and we have to get things done. It's our choices. I want to wrap up with you today. On the back table I have a little shiny envelope in there. If you have a card, you want to put that in there. As I'm talking, I think of 75 other things that I'd love to share. And after I do any program, I do a little cheat sheet recap, because I love to share other stuff about it that follows up. If that's something that interests you, just put your card in. If you don't have a card, I've got little pieces of paper. I do not market to anybody. That is not my mission in life. This is just a resource to share. So it has been said. I need you to scoot your chair way in. Smile at your team members.
We're halfway through.
Laugh at them if you must. And I want to do one more small silly thing with you. And this is a power smile. Okay? And it looks like this. You have a very serious look on your face. And I'll say power smile, 1, 2, 3, and you go. Put a huge sheet together. We'll do it 3 times, okay? And it is really fun, but you truly need to be no laughing, okay? So, here we go. Serious face, power smile, 1, 2. All right, hide under the table, that's you. Here we go. Serious face, power smile, 1, 2, 3. Serious face, power smile, 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Totally serious face. Power smile, 1, 2, 3. Did you hear the disgusting slap of saliva? Try one more time. Serious face. Power smile, 1, 2, 3. Now, have you ever said, "Oh my, I smile so loud"? But when each one of us leaves here, go about our day, wherever we go, we do our own little part. And when you hear yourself or see yourself do your own little part, you don't always think, "Wow, that was awesome." But when each of us do our own little part, the magnitude of that makes a difference. Whatever department you're from, however long you travel to get here, what you do in the collective makes a big difference. Don't cheat the world out of your wonderful. Do what you can with this thing called your gift of life. And make it a great day. Thanks for being here.